Do you find that lead generation is different based on the country, like the geography or the industry?
I do. I think the most important thing when you're generating leads for a certain industry or in a certain industry is you want to look at what you're. So if I'm generating a lead versus a competing company, I think it's important to look at what my competition is doing to get those leads. You know, are they making certain types of posts? Are they appealing to a certain audience? Are they doing a certain thing in that vertical or in that space or in that geography that makes them stand out? And then how can I kind of mimic that? How can I, pick off the same types of clients, but differentiate myself and make me the one that they want to look at? So I absolutely do think that it can vary by part of the world, vary by industry vertical, and I think you look at what is happening in that industry, what are the priorities in the industry, what is your business or your company or your offering in that space, and then how can you stand out and stand apart? Because, and I think we talked about this in our last conversation. You know, when you're marketing or targeting a specific client in an industry, you know, if you really want to add value in that industry, get different searches of, you know, articles of what you're bringing to that industry, different ways that you or your competition is making a difference in that industry, because you want to know that stuff. And if you see something specific that's about an industry trend, there's nothing better than sending a quick email or sending a note via one of these social platforms to say, hey, I'd love your thoughts on this. Let's have a conversation. Or I saw that this is a trend in your industry, and or in your geography. Like, hey, I saw that this is happening in such and such a city in our industry. I was very curious about your thoughts on it. And it can be a great conversation starter. And it's a great way also not to be calling them to say, hey, I want to sell you something.